Being as it is, the European Union has a tendency not to be contacted by bilateral, but by multilateral. And that's why, whether you like it or not, the European Union sees the region as a region of three states.
Yeah.
And we have, for example, from the European Parliament, it was part of it, we had a delegation for the South Caucasus. They go once to Tbilisi,
Yeah.
once to Yerevan or to Baku. But it's not to neglect the individual country.
Yeah, individualism, yeah.
But it's the same thing with Central Asia or with Southeast Asia or with Latin America. It's always a kind of groupings of states where you have the relations.
But at some aspects, for example, uh, they are considered individually too.
Yes, sure.
Because at least aspirations, the level of aspirations are a bit different.
It's
For
a
Armenia,
different.
for Georgia, for Azerbaijan.
Yes, but
In that
I
regard,
remember.
you should, yeah.
I remember the moment when the Council of Europe was considering the three countries,
Yeah.
and there were people who said Azerbaijan is not Europe. The other ones are Europe,
Yeah.
and they said no, sorry, it's one group.
One group.
So the Azeris slid it. But on the other hand, when the conflict was between Georgia and Russia, it was in the European Parliament, I remember, because I was working there, an immediate reaction, we have to send people there. And there were two or three deputies who went there on the front line. And I have a photo where Mrs. Isla Beghi was with the two officers of the Russian and the Georgian side, trying to, come on, make something together.
Yeah.
So there's a will to intervene and to help.
Yeah. So you
Soft.
think that Georgia is considered as a part of the, not part but as a region, and not part of the region, and not individual country.
Both.
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 Depends.
Yeah. When
The field.
there's a special problem, like with Russia,
Yeah.
it's considered individual.
Individual.
If there's lack of democracy, it's individual.
Yeah.
But politically speaking, it is a region.
Region.
There's also lack of deputies who can treat every single
Yeah,
country
true,
of the world. But I think that beside delegations with Russia, Ukraine, and so, it's one of the important committees of Parliament, and I know that the Commission has also a whole service for the three countries.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
Department,
even
directory.
for
Yeah.
Belarus, where there are no official relations, there's still a dozen of people dealing with Belarus, and there's a budget kept for the time when it's possible.
Yeah.
So it's not forgotten, and that's why sometimes I have a dispute with Jean-François, because I think the European Union is not doing enough. Of course, it's not doing enough, but with the fall of the communism, then with this crisis and this crisis,
Yeah,
it's
lots
not
of to
the
be done.
first top priority,
Yeah,
unfortunately. And that's why we need lobbyists
definitely.
for that.
Yeah.
It's only normal, because I remember when the dictatorships of Spain and Portugal fell, there was a lobby, very strong lobby from the two countries to come in as fast as possible. And you cannot imagine on all levels, including the party level.
Yeah.
The socialists of Spain contact the European socialists and to lobby for them. So
Yeah, this is very strong
it's a bit
instrument, lobbying.
tiring.
Yeah.
It's a bit tiring because I remember we had a seminar for East European people who worked in their parliament, and I brought them to the European elections at that time in Great Britain, and we saw a poor liberal Democrat in pouring rain standing there at the market on Sunday and saying,
Yeah.
"Please vote for me, please." I said, is it so hard? Here we put our names down and that was it.
Yeah.
And here they have to fight, and he lost, of course, but 10 years later he's one of the most important deputies. So
Yeah.
never to give up.
Yeah.